Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. So we will get started right now. So my name is Jen. I'm the Admissions and Registration Representative at the Institute of Global Specialists. For today, one of our instructors, Todd Bondy, and my colleague Poco from the admission teams is also here with me to give you some insights about programs. So for today's info session, we will begin with some general information such as admission requirements, fee structures. And then after this brief information, we will get into programs in details. Our guest speaker, Todd, will talk after the program details, so stay tuned for that. And toward the end, there's a Q&A session. We will be more than happy to answer your questions at that time. If you have any questions to ask during our presentations, you're welcome to type your question at the chat box, and my colleague, Yulia, she will help answering your questions. So to give you a little bit of general information about who we are in our programs, the Institute of Global Specialists is located in St. John, New Brunswick. Currently, we offer 6 online programs, and everything is 100% online. That includes your study material, lectures, assignments, and exams. And all the programs are designed using the Harvard Business School case study method of teaching. And all the programs are offered in English only. There's no language requirement to join, so you're definitely welcome to apply as long as you are comfortable learning in English. No age limit to join either. We accept international students, so they enjoy the same tuition rate as our Canadian students. As we provide for the online program, you can definitely study from anywhere you are in different countries, as long as you have a stable internet connection. In regards to the time difference, you get to schedule your own study time. As long as you are meeting the deadlines to do your assignments, to complete your quizzes, exam, you're good to go. Some students have questions about placement. Like most college and university, we will offer career placement support to our students, such as help with writing resumes, identifying job opportunities, and networks, improve your job interview skills, things like that. But it will be ultimately up to you to seek a job after graduate. But we do provide the necessary help to support our students finding their jobs. All our instructors are here to guide you, of course. They are people who have been working in their industry for over decades and are still actively involved in their field. We carefully vetted each instructors and select highly qualified individual to teach and design all our programs. So you are not just learning about the theory, you are actually learning about the real world experience from it. You are definitely welcome to take advantage of that. All the details and bio about our instructors are available on our website, globalspecialist.org. The tuition fee for all IGS program is currently 586 Canadian per module. We do have flexible payment plans. A student can pay on module by module basis. They are 6 to 9 modules depending on the programs. And each module is about 4 to 5 weeks. That means you are expected to pay 1 module per month. Also, if you're interested in only taking specific module instead of the entire program, you can take the module individually. For example, in our Canadian Immigration Law Specialist program, you can choose to take only the refugee module if you wish. We have the next schedule starting on August 1st. Another thing to mention is that we also offer scholarship and financing. Please contact us for more information about that after our presentation, so we can provide you more detail either on phone or over the email. Now, I will be going over each program in details. I will be covering 3 programs, and Paul will be going over the other 3 programs. The first program I'm going to cover is a Canada Border Service Specialist Program. This program is designed and taught by former CBSA officers like Todd, and they are experts who have over 15 years of experience on the field. This program will enable you with essential border services procedure and prepare you to be a capable professionals in immigration, customs, import, export, or concerning border services. This program has 7 modules and is 29 weeks long. Once you complete the 7 modules, you could seek employment in public sectors such as CBSA, the immigration department, as well as in the private sectors, with those companies dealing with cross-border regulation and procedures, those importing, exporting business such as Walmart, Costco, of course, in the oil or mining industry as well. The next program I'm going to talk about is the Global Immigration Specialist Program. There are 6 modules in this program, and it's 26 weeks long. This program will focus on different global immigration paths through investments, such as purchasing property and business overseas. You're going to learn about over 20 countries that offer this kind of program. Countries like Caribbean countries, some European countries, and East Asian countries as well. You will be able to identify the needs and risks for your clients so you can find the most efficient road of immigration in corporate contexts for them. All our GIS instructors, of course, have been practicing and providing services around the globe for over 20 or even 30 years. You are definitely welcome to learn and take advantage from the experience. Once you complete this program, you will receive a diploma from us, which will qualify you to write an exam with the regulatory body, Global Society of Immigration Specialists, and you could work as a charter global immigration specialist to provide service around the globe. And the next program I'm going to talk about is the Global Education Specialist Program. Upon completion of this program, you could work as an international student agents to provide services and become agents for elementary, secondary schools, university, and colleges to receive commissions from them. And on the other hand, you could become a consultant to help students and their families with the right admission process to get into the school they want. There are 8 modules in this program, and the total length is 38 weeks long. This program focuses on over 20 countries again. You're going to learn about different level of education systems in countries like Canada, down in the state, in European countries such as Germany, UK, New Zealand, Australia, and some East Asian countries as well. This program also covers the immigration aspect, so you got to learn how to apply for study permit or visa for your students. Of course, you're going to learn about what's the financial aids available for international students in different countries. You're of course going to learn about how to build a connection with schools so you can become a designated agent for different schools. All our GS instructors are coming from different parts of the world with amazing backgrounds. They have over decades of experience in the industry. Some are former admissions officers in post-secondary education, and some are experts in dealing with the K-12 admissions, and together they are providing the comprehensive knowledge and enhanced experience that you need to become a successful agent. So once you complete this program, you will be able to write an exam with the regulatory body, Global College of Education Specialists, and become a charter global education specialist. Now, Paul will go over the other three programs in detail.
Thank you, Jen. My name is Po, and I am the Admissions and Student Affairs Representative at the Institute of Global Specialists. I'll now be going over the remaining three programs that we offer, beginning with the Foreign Service and International Development Specialist program. Like all of our programs, the Foreign Service and International Development Specialist program is completely online. There are 6 modules in the program, and it is 24 weeks long. The program will introduce students to the world of diplomacy in bilateral and multilateral settings. The program will examine real-world examples of diplomacy involving Canada and other countries, such as the relationship between Canada and the US. Students will develop essential diplomatic skills, such as intergovernmental negotiation and networking. And these diplomacy skills are not just specific to Canada. They are transferable skills for anyone who wishes to join a career in diplomacy anywhere in the world. The program will also cover how to manage international development projects and the effects of globalization, which are major priorities for NGOs and Global Affairs Canada. Many careers exist in international affairs that are not simply diplomatic jobs. There are different types of careers which can be at the regional, local, or international level. This may include working on the ground at a local NGO or at international organizations such as the WTO and the UN. Our program helps students prepare students for these various types of career opportunities. I'd also like to take a moment to highlight the instructors in the program. Our instructors have 15 to 30 years of experience as foreign officers with the government or as development specialists, so they are very knowledgeable and well-connected in the industry. The next program that I'll cover today is the Canadian Immigration Law Specialist Program. This program is geared towards anyone who wishes to have an in-depth understanding of how to navigate the immigration system in Canada. Using a Harvard case study method of teaching, the program covers key aspects of Canadian immigration law and regulations. Please note that this program is not meant for those wishing to become a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. That's a profession regulated by the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants. However, there are promising career opportunities after taking our program, such as working for the government or for NGOs or at an existing consulting firm. Our program is taught by immigration consultants who have decades of experience navigating the Canadian immigration system. There are 9 modules in the program, and it is 42 weeks long. This is the longest program that we offer, as it covers the complexities of Canada's immigration system. The program covers topics such as PR and citizenship, economic class, family class, temporary class, appeals, hearings and detentions, and refugees. The last program that I will talk about today is the Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning Specialist Program. This program consists of 7 modules and is 28 weeks long. The program will introduce students to the theoretical and the practical applications of machine learning and data science. Through data analysis and visualization, students will learn how to use AI technologies to optimize their business. This program also includes live instructor lessons, so it's very hands-on. The program will cover Python, Jupyter Notebooks, and Google Colab. All of our instructors are leading experts with backgrounds in both data science and in business. This means that they have the academic and the real-world expertise to help students succeed. The program is perfect for business professionals who work with any type of data and who wish to stay competitive by using the power of machine learning and data science. Finally, I'd like to highlight our free career placement support module. This free module is available to all of our students to help them transition seamlessly to a new job. This module helps with networking, identifying career opportunities, resume building, and interviewing skills. Now, I'd like to introduce one of our instructors in the Canada Border Services Specialist Program, Todd Bondy. Todd is a former CBSA officer, retiring after almost 22 years at CBSA. He currently teaches the Introduction to Commercial Operations module in our CBSS program. Todd is here today to talk about his background and the benefits of taking our CBSS program. Welcome, Todd. Todd, are you there? Looks like we have a little issue with him connecting right now. Perhaps we can wait a little bit and move on to our Q&A before we get Todd to join us. If he can't join us, we might be able to have him reconnect at a later time. But for now, perhaps we can move to the Q&A section. So before we jump into Q&A, I'd just like to take a quick moment to remind everyone that the tuition is $586 Canadian per module. We have monthly start dates, and the next start date is scheduled for August 1st. Okay, so we'd like to hear from you. If you have any questions regarding our programs, please feel free to ask right now by typing in the chat. Jen and I are here to help address any questions that you may have. We can address your questions here, but if you also think of any questions afterwards, you can contact us by email or by phone. Okay, looks like we have a question here about the CBSS program. Can I get a job with CBSA after taking your program? So just to clarify, our program is not related to the CBSA. In fact, no school is actually recognized by CBSA. As CBSA conducts their own training. However, our program is taught by former CBSA officers, such as Todd, who have many years of direct experience with the CBSA. So our program does provide students with the knowledge, the skills, and confidence they need to apply and be successful to become an officer. So when you graduate from our program, you will be familiar with the responsibilities of a CBSA officer. So you'll have a valuable advantage in the application process. Are there any other questions on our programs? It looks like one of our instructors is here too. John Ryan is here. John, do you want to say hi?
Yeah, hi. How you doing?
Good. Welcome, John.
Yeah, well, I can comment, Poe, on the CBSS, the Canada Border Services program, as well as the immigration program and the Global Immigration Specialist, given the fact that I used to be a customs officer and I used to be an immigration officer, and I've been a long time immigration consultant in Canada. So I have 1 or 2 days worth of experience, actually, 1 or 2 decades worth of experience.
That's great. So why don't you tell us a bit about your background and the benefits of our programs? We do have Todd who has just rejoined. So after you have given us some of your insight, we'd love to hear from Todd as well.
Well, right now I'm involved in the College of Immigration the college, the Institute of Global Specialists, and running the college. But plus I have been involved, I started my career in the public service as a customs officer, as a CBSA officer, now that they're known, but they used to be customs when I was there. And I worked Lester B. Pearson, Terminal 2, when Terminal 2 existed. So passenger operations, and I did rail, international, mail, and marine as a customs inspector. So that's the customs experience. And then I went on to being an investigator with Canada Immigration. I was one of the chosen few, 35 in Toronto, that were involved in everything to do from, investigating the foreign domestic worker to doing joint forces operations with the police and security agencies on Asian crime, on terrorists, you name it. So from an immigration perspective, that's what I did in the immigration business. Then I went to China. I left the public service and went to China and opened an office in Beijing, which grew into a whole bunch of offices all over China. So I spent 12 years there. And then I was asked by the Minister of Immigration in Canada to help him set up the immigration consulting regulation. And I served on a committee in 2003, the Minister's Committee for the Regulation of Consultants. And I did that. And then I was asked by the minister after that. We presented a report to actually do it, to set up the regulatory body and run the regulatory body. So I then set up from 2003 until 2000, I guess I left it in 2013, the regulatory body, where I served as the chair, the vice chair, and the CEO of the regulatory body. So I've got a lot of experience in that too. So, and then of course I'm now with the college. So that's a little bit about my background.
Right, and currently you are teaching a few courses. You're teaching in our Canadian Immigration Law program. You're teaching the introductory course, the temporary immigration, and I believe the appeals course. And you're also teaching in our Global Immigration Specialist program, the intro course as well. So you do have your hands in a lot of pots.
Yeah, well, my experience is extensive. So from an immigration consulting point of view, I'm very versed in all aspects of Canadian immigration, and from a global immigrations perspective, immigration specialist, I'm versed in doing citizenship, passports, residence alien or alien status for various countries around the world. So I can speak about that too. How about Todd? Is Todd there?
Yeah, so thanks, John. What we'll do right now is we'll jump back to Todd. I see that he's online right now, and maybe we can go to hear what Todd has to say, and afterwards we can continue our Q&A. And John, of course, you're totally welcome to contribute afterwards in Q&A as well. So Todd, welcome. Welcome back, actually. So please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about the program.
Okay, great. Thank you, Poe. I do apologize in advance. I'm having really bad internet connection. I missed a lot of what started and most of what Poe was saying. I only caught about the last 3 sentences of Poe before he introduced John. So my apologies. Hopefully I'll stay connected long enough to get through this. So basically, what is it I'm going to discuss with you? I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction as to who I am, a little bit about my biography. I'm going to talk about the module itself, why this course is so important. I'm going to tell you why I would pick this course hands down over a public college. And I'm going to tell you that to give you a little bit of information. I'm also going to talk about some of the jobs that you can actually get. So some of you might be sitting there saying, well, I don't know if I want to be a border service officer working for the CBSA. Is there something else out there that's related to that? Yes, there is. And I'm going to be talking about that today. So basically, this Border Services Specialist program will enable you with essential border services procedures, and it's going to prepare you to be capable professionals in immigration and in customs, import and export, and all sorts of other things concerning border services itself. The program itself is instructed by ex-CBSA officers, and that's why I said I would pick the IGS one over a public or a private college. Private and public colleges don't always have border service officers teaching in those programs. Why that is, I don't know. I do teach at a public college, and basically right now, I probably will not be returning to that college this semester. I'll be staying with IGS for sure. Police officers in that program. Police officers are great, but CBSA is a complete different law enforcement agency. So myself, I've had over 2 decades of experience at the busiest land border crossing between Canada and the United States. I worked in Windsor, Ontario for over 22 years. I have over 10 years in commercial operations. I've also been a legislative technical trainer and a mentor for new employees. I've acted as a supervisor. I've acted as a supervisor on my own post 9/11. I was also working as an enforcement officer. So I worked really, really closely with detector canine units, with investigations, with the intelligence division. I've also worked on VACUS, which is that great big truck that they have in the news sometimes that scans vehicles and rail cars and commercial trucks. I also worked on flexible response teams. Those are enforcement units that replaced the old customs drug unit. I also had specialized training in drug and contraband and detection and apprehension and enforcement. I also was a specialist in wildlife identification, handling, detaining goods, and so on and so forth. So I worked hand in hand with the Canadian Wildlife Service. So I did a joint project with them for over 10 years. So I'm a certified trainer when it comes to CITES, which stands for the Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species. I'm also an RCMP certified CPIC instructor, and I'm also a certified instructor in the Proceeds of Crime and Money Laundering Terrorist Financing Act. So with that, I taught at a public college for quite a while too. So I've been 6 years there. I've also been on hiring boards. I did what we call a stint inside of the intelligence division. And now what do? I work for the Ontario government in legal services. I retired from border service. And what I'm going to tell you, the one thing you're definitely going to get with IGS is extensive experience. I have met online because all of us are from across the country with all the other instructors, and everybody is really, really well trained and well versed in what it is that they actually do. So a little bit about Module 5, and this is the one that I teach on. It's called Introduction to Commercial Operations. So basically it's divided into different sessions. So the first one being, you'll learn about memorandum. So not exciting stuff. It's not as fun as learning about how to arrest someone or finding drugs, but this is really important when it comes to importing goods, not just for businesses, it is also for people. So you can learn where to find this information. So I go through the memorandums. I tell you where this information is located. I put links to various websites up when you start the module itself. You also get to look step by step at the customs tariff itself. You learn how to classify goods, duty rates, tariff treatments. And then in session 2, we talk about food, plant, and animal importations. So I talk about the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. That is the #1 agency that's really important in Canada when it comes to importing goods, period. So I talk about AIRS, that's available online. It's called the Automated Import Reference System. Also about the Export Import Permits Act. I also talk about other government departments such as Health Canada, the Quarantine Act, that's been in the news a real lot since the pandemic started, and now we're on our way out. Hopefully it stays that way. I also talk about restricted and prohibited goods, a little bit about counterfeit goods. And also I do an introduction to commercial operations for who is involved in it. So there's importers, there's exporters, there's duty-free shops, licensed customs brokers, commercial carriers, freight forwarders, sufferance warehouses, transport companies that transport passengers. So whether it be by aircraft, whether it be by bus, whether you hop on a train and come to Canada, hop on a ship and say like China and come across and disembark in Vancouver. We can talk about some of that too. And I also do a step-by-step on importing commercial goods for small business. I can tell you, this is the only college that does that. They tell you step-by-step how to do it. And there's a nice cheat sheet that goes in there. You go, okay, I've got this, I've got that, I've got this. Okay, only need to do this. Okay, good, we're good to go. And I show you where to find that information. So I talked a little bit about the enforcement actions for food, plant, and animal and the CBSA when it comes to commercial goods, anti-dumping and countervailing duty. The Customs Act, I touch on it a lot. You'll get a lot of that when it, if you sign up for this course. It's also the Immigration Refugee Protection Act. I don't talk about that in my module. I do understand it, but I specifically concentrate on importing goods itself. And then you get a final exam. So basically, you know, you're getting an education from this very, very complex world. Myself, I'm a paralegal licensee in Ontario. I cannot, of course, at any time give you any legal advice, But I've worked and helped out lawyers that have been around 20, 30 years. Basically, they get confused sometimes on importing goods. And I'm like, oh, all you have to do is this, and this. Here you go. And they're like, you got to be kidding me. That's all there was to it. Yeah. But it can be hard for people to find some of that information. We share that with you and tell you where you can get it. So this course will help you a small business or a large business for sure. So some of the jobs that you can actually get if you don't want to be a border service officer, because that's a question we get a lot is, well, I live in Northwest Territories. So what is this course going to do for me? Well, I'll tell you, there is Yellowknife Airport. There are also sufferance warehouses up in Yellowknife. So yeah, that takes a CBSA officer to examine and release those goods and deal with the importing of it. So there's sufferance warehouses also in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Grand Falls, Newfoundland. Atlantic Warehousing is in Chicoutimi, Quebec. And basically, there is different spots that you can go. There's inland offices all over Canada. You can also, of course, open a company in Canada. Dealing with people from overseas is something I did quite often. They would be exporting goods to Canada. They would call the CBSA office and say, okay, I have 50,000 widgets that are coming in. Can you help me? Direct me what it is I need to do. And as an officer, I was able to do that within reason, because you're expected to know the law if you're going to be importing goods. So basically, really, that's all I have for you. I'm going to turn the floor back over to Poe. Again, I apologize. Hopefully, you heard everything I just said. I know it was kind of a mouthful. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Todd. Yes, you were clear most of the time. So we did get everything you said about. Let's go back to the Q&A now, because we did jump to Q&A earlier while we were waiting for you, Todd, but let's go back to that right now. There are a few questions in the general chat that I'd like to go over briefly. One question was about the cost of the programs. So 586 Canadian per module, and depending on which program you're interested in, there's different number of modules. So we have from 6 modules to 9 modules. So if you are interested in a specific program, let us know. We can provide you with more information on that. Most of our students pay on a module by module basis, which means about once a month, you'd be expected to pay for the next module. There's also another question here in the general chat about CBSA. And so if CBSA is giving their own training and hiring their own people, why do I need to take the course with you? And I think Todd just elaborated on that. The program has the expertise from former CBSA officers like Todd. They give you the insight that you wouldn't necessarily get elsewhere. And you do have that advantage in the hiring or application process when you want to become a CBSA officer. So we provide you with all the skills you need to be a successful candidate. Todd, did you have anything else, or John, do you have anything else to add to that? John, I think you're muted there. So.
Yeah, I'll wait
CBSA, yeah, CBSA gives us some training up in Rigaud, Quebec. It's a, I guess it's a 9-week program. It was 16 when I did it. For customs inspector, but I believe it's 9 weeks now. But they train you, and they train you in enforcement, searches, seizure, drugs enforcement, and all that. And it's very hands-on, and you learn it inside the department. What you don't get though is all the other stuff that you need. So it's a basic training, or it's given as a basic training, and then you got to go on the job in terms of I went to Pearson, and I went to Rail International Mail Marine, and I worked the border crossing. So you get put into different environments and you experience, and that's how you become a customs officer. Let me just say that this course didn't exist before they set up all this training in Rigaud and everything else. So there wasn't very much opportunity for people to glean the knowledge and the expertise that they needed to enter and get high marks at the customs interview and the customs the entry officer like selection program tests that they do. So this gives you a good understanding and an exposure to all of that. If it's CBSA, if it's immigration, well, then it gives you exposure to the immigration side of the house and all of the things that go along with that. And CBSA is now responsible for immigration, so you need that as well. So you need some basic knowledge or some knowledge going into the interview so that you can impress the people at CBSA. So why should they hire you? Hi, I've got a high school diploma or I've got a college diploma and I'm in off the street. Okay. What makes you so special? Well, why should we be interested in you? Yeah, think about these questions, because to be a CBSA officer or an immigration officer, they're going to be looking for something special. We give you that something special.
Thanks, John. Todd, did you have anything else to add to that? I know you did cover that.
Yes, I just want to reiterate exactly what John said. And one thing it'll definitely give you is this the job for you? Because there's a lot of people that do join the CBSA, whether it be on the immigration side, whether it be on the customs side. I believe now they're back married together. And basically, the one thing you don't want to do is get a job that you absolutely hate. And then you're going, I've got 35 years of doing this. Oh, wow, what am I going to do now? Yeah, it will definitely give you the insight. And like John said, it does prepare you for the interview. I've always put it out there with my students, whether it be at a private college, whether it be with IGS, ask us, what is it they're looking for? I mean, I was on hiring boards. I can pretty well tell you exactly how an interview is going to go and what they're looking for. They give you scenario questions and they want to see if you can have good answers. And not only that, you have to be physical fit, because now you have to be able to carry a firearm. I carried one for 5 years. I retired early because I wanted to become a paralegal. So it worked out great for me. It's more of health conditions as to why I did it, but it works out great for me. I now work in legal services for the provincial government of Ontario. So that's really all I had to add for John. So.
Thanks, Todd. And I'd like to add one more thing too. Like, our classes in IGS are small and intimate, so you get that connection with your instructors. So you get that one-on-one. So other programs might be large and not have that same closeness. So we do really value that in our program, that one-on-one factor. So we have another question here. I think you also covered this, Todd. If I don't live close to a border or airport, what other types of opportunities are there? And I know, Todd, you did mention that there are warehouses all over Canada and inland officers all over Canada. Of course, you can also work in the private sector for import-export businesses or open your own company in that. Do you have anything further to add, Todd or John, on that topic?
Well, I mean, it's clearly, if you're an immigration officer, if you go for immigration or if you go for customs, there are customs officers and immigration officers across Canada, because there are functions that have to be performed by customs or immigration or CBSA or immigration that require people to be everywhere in Canada. Every locality has got a customs officer or a CBSA officer or a immigration officer responsible in terms of domestic. There are inland offices on immigration side of the house. So the inland officers process, permanent residence for people who apply for immigration inside Canada. So you can get jobs in Leamington, you can get jobs in Sudbury, you can get jobs in Victoria. So it's not just a border crossing that you should focus on. There are jobs elsewhere in immigration and certainly in CBSA.
Thanks, John. Todd, do you have any other insights on that topic?
Yeah, just to add on what John said here. I mean, I got hired working for lawyers, so I did that on contract. But you may have an immigration lawyer that lives, let's say, in Northern Ontario, where they're way up there, where there's no, where there's absolutely no immigration office. And by taking this course, they're going, okay, that's what I'm looking for. Someone that actually knows what it is that they're getting into and where they can find all this information. So, I mean, I teach the commercial end of it, but I can tell you the trainers that teach the immigration side of it, wow, it's impressive. They give you a ton of information. So you can also work for international companies that import, export goods, or of course, like John said, deal in the immigration aspect of it for sure.
Well,
Thanks,
like, I
Todd.
mean, enforcement, immigration on enforcement. If, you know, there's immigrants all over Canada. People come in and they do things not the way they're supposed to do. They do things illegally. They do things. There's a whole enforcement arm in terms of officers who are tasked with enforcing the Immigration Act that go out and physically do the investigations and the arrests of these people. And that happens all over Canada. So there are positions almost everywhere in Canada. So that's something that should be understood.
Yeah, and actually one of our other instructors in the CBSS program was a former immigration enforcement officer in Calgary, Carl. So we have various instructors who have different backgrounds in CBSA. All of them are very experienced. We do encourage you to check out our website, and you can see the instructors and a brief bio of each of them. So yeah, so we have one more question here about a general question about the application process. And maybe Jen can help provide some clarification here. Do you need university education to apply to your programs? Jen, do you want to maybe go over some of the admission requirements for us?
Sure. So we don't need you to have a university degree in order to apply for our program. So actually our program is welcome to anyone who has like high school diploma. So when you are going to our website, going through the application process, all we are asking is a copy of your resume. So on your resume, the details should be what's your professional background, what's your educational background. So once we receive your applications, we will review and get back to you. And also there's a $175 application fee required upon your registration. Yeah.
Thanks, Jen. Are there any other further questions on our programs, or any questions specifically for John and Todd before we wrap up today?
Yeah, don't be shy. We're here to answer your questions and your concerns.
It looks like we don't have any more questions for now, but if you do think of anything else, please do feel free to email or call us. Before we wrap up today, like, we do encourage you, as I mentioned, to check out our website and look at our instructors, read about instructors. They have been carefully chosen for their expertise and their real world experience. In addition, we do offer free demo modules for each of our programs. So if you are interested in a specific program, you can explore it for free just to see how it works and how it looks like before joining. To request access to a free demo, just submit a request on our website or email us directly. Our website is globalspecialist.org, and you can apply online for the August 1st start date. So if there's no further questions, we're going to wrap up for today. So we'd like to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, John, for participating as well. And we will look forward to hearing from you later. Goodbye.
Good. Thanks, Tim. Thanks.